Hello everyone, how are you all doing? If this is the first time that you're watching my videos, my name is Natalie. I am a Western tropical astrologer and I use a whole sign house system for all my forecasts and readings. In this video, we are talking about this week's astrology forecast. I know it's Wednesday, well, it's probably Thursday in later time zones when you're watching this, but the earlier part of the week I was traveling and I was traveling from my one home to another, so there's a lot of flying and a lot of packing, unpacking, cleaning. So the past couple of days I'm just settling down, and right now I'm back in Vancouver, my home, so I am doing this forecast right now. We didn't miss much because earlier part of the week there isn't much happening, but there are some astrology for the rest of the week that I would love to tell you about. So on Wednesday, today, right when I am recording and uploading this, Chiron station retrograde in the sign of Aries at 27 degrees 9 minutes. So Chiron is going to retrograde back into 22 degrees 35 minutes. So if you have planets degree, or if your Chiron is in Aries between 22-27 degrees, or if you have any planets or point in other sign aspecting 22 to 27 degrees in the sign of Aries, you might be feeling this station and this Chiron retrograde more than the others, but we are all feeling this energy individually and as a collective. Chiron will station back into 22 degrees 35 minutes and station direct there next year, January 2nd. So for the rest of the year, Chiron will be retrograde. And this is also the last time that Chiron will retrograde in the sign of Aries, because we are at the final degrees. And next year in January, after Chiron station direct in the sign of Aries at 22 degrees, Chiron will just continue to move forward, travel forward, and move into the next sign later in springtime. So this is the last Chiron retrograde. I would love to suggest and invite all of us to really use the rest of the year to really reflect on this Chiron and Aries transit for you, because Chiron has been in Aries since 2018 April. So there has been a lot of changes in that sign for you. And Chiron is the wounded warrior, wounded healer. Chiron often refers to the wounds, the healing that we our soul sign up to experience and possibly heal from this lifetime, right? And so Aries is the sign that associates with the sense of self. It talks, the mantra of Aries is I am, and Aries talks about our sense of self, who we are, and it's about our individuality, right? Who you are as a person, your personhood, your sovereignty, right? And Chiron has been in the sign of Aries since April 28, and me personally, I can't speak for everybody, but I do have to say that I myself feel this energy deeply, how it really changes, and my healing really started around that time as well. My my really rude awakening moment really start around that time, and it just continues over the years, and it really allow me to dig deeper and look within myself, who I am as a person and how I want to show up, what kind of values and who I want to be, and how I want to show up in the world as well, embracing those values. And perhaps some of you have been on this journey as well. And Chiron in Aries really asks us to go inward and look within ourselves. Our wounds, our traumas, our past experience, they don't define us, but they invite us to go another layer deeper, to really love ourselves more, to heal, to let those wounds have a chance to heal, to be accepted and embraced as part of us, because we are both light and shadow, just like yin and yang. In order to show up fully, we first have to embrace every bit of ourselves, and knowing that this journey is not linear. Healing is never a linear, straightforward journey, and I think many of us know now that not all of us, every single one of us, we are all on this journey individually, but also as a collective. There's also this collective generation wounds, traumas that we are all carrying from our ancestors, and this energy is really inviting us to look within that as well. And how can we, while doing our own work, our shadow work to integrate, to allow ourselves to heal, but also to help each other to heal and heal as a collective as well. And knowing that no one is ever truly healed, right? No, we are not fully healed, period. We just cannot. But how can we allow ourselves to continue to do the work, to show up anyway, no matter how much work we still have to do, knowing that wherever we are, it's good enough and we deserve to show up as well, as long as we continue to give in and do the work, right? So I hope during this station, during this retrograde, you can also give yourself that love and grace, knowing that you deserve to continue to dig deeper within yourself as a collective, to allow us and yourself continue to be on this healing journey, right? And if you haven't, maybe perhaps this retrograde might invite you to do so. So during this week, maybe later this week or next week, that is when we feel the energy the most. It is when all planets at the station moment that we feel the energy the most, right? So you might feel like, wow, I've done a lot of work, I've healed this wound, or I've allowed myself to heal this layer of thing, this trauma, but it might feel like it's resurfacing, it's coming back up, and you're like, oh my god, I thought I've done the work. Know that it's never truly done, and you are always continue to be invited to do the work, right? It's not like that, oh my god, when can I be done? But look at it from another perspective to know that, hey, I got to do this lifetime. I got the tools, I got to continue to learn different tools, get in touch with different modalities that's able to help me to do that. How good is that, right? Your ancestors, your maybe some people around you might not have the awareness to be able to do that yet, but yet you have this chance. So allow yourself to feel into whatever emotions, wounds, trauma that wants to come up, to ask you for a little bit of love, healing, and attention. See what that means for you. Allow yourself to not rush, but continue to patiently, lovingly do the work, and to allow that layer of yourself, that wound of yours, to receive more healing. Also, on an individual level and on a collective level, Chiron in Aries also remind us that we are all responsible for our own healing, right? Aries relates to the sense of self. No one can do this work for you but yourself. No one is going to save you. I'm sorry, okay? No guru, master, leader, blah, blah, is going to save you. All the community, all the country, we the people, you yourself is the only sole person that is responsible for your own healing, right? You're the only person who can do that work for yourself, nobody else. You might meet different teacher, different modalities that are able to assist you, to provide you the tools to help you remember the tool, the magic, the light that you embrace, to help you do this work, to help contribute to the collective healing. But you yourself is the only one that can do the work as well. So during this retrograde, I hope, and I truly hope, that for those who, for whatever reason, still haven't, whether you are in avoidance, you are fearful for any kind of reason, maybe you're scared of how people might judge you, how people will say, what people will say, and how if you have a social media presence, it might affect your followings, your client, or whatever. Still remain silent about the genocide in Gaza, or all the suffering, all the wars happening around the world, in Sudan, Congo, and everywhere. I hope that this Chiron retrograde in Aries is able to invite you to go within, to look deeper, that by doing your own healing, doing your own work, it doesn't only help you, but let this light ripple out and let it shine, and let your healing contribute to the collective healing, because we all deserve healing, we all deserve to be free, we all need each other in order to be healed, be free together. So yeah, I really hope that for all of us. Around the same time, Venus is going to switch sign and enter Cancer. So Venus going to enter Cancer July 30th, 8:57 p.m. Pacific time, or July 31st, 11:57 a.m. Hong Kong time. So for later time zone, it's going to be the 31st noontime. So Venus enter Cancer is a nice transit because Venus enjoy her time in the sign of Cancer. Venus do have triplicity in the sign of Cancer, so that is why she enjoys her transit in Cancer. And Venus in Cancer is a very different energy. Venus in Cancer is more of a homebody energy. You might find yourself wanting to retreat and spend more time in your crabby shell, which is your home, right? You might just want to kick back and chill. You might want to call in your besties on your closest people to come chill with you and hang out with you. Instead of going out, mingle, networking, you want to have a more intimate, closer circle where you enjoy the company with people that feels like home, which is what Cancer is about. You might feel like you spend more time with your family, blood related or chosen. Issues around family members, home might come up more during this time. Maybe this is the time you want to renovate, change up something, organize your home. You want to go on a trip with your family. Venus in Cancer is also a very nurturing, motherly energy. So for some, you or the other person might exhibit this energy of wanting to take care of you. Oh, let me cook you a meal. Let me take care of this for you. Let me do your laundry. Let me just love on you, right? You might feel this towards your partner, your closest one-on-one relationships, or vice versa, okay? Or if you are dating, you might meet somebody that's like, we're on the second date. Do you want to meet my family? I want to introduce you to my whole gang, right? And you're like, ooh, because some people love it, right? Especially if you have Venus in Cancer. But some people might not like it. Might be like, ooh, I need space. You're too close, too fast, right? So we might experience that energy too. While some enjoys it, not everyone do. So see what comes up for you. Venus in Cancer is also ruled by Moon because Moon rules Cancer. That means all the Venusian thing is going to rule by Moon. And the moon changes sign every 2.5 days. It's wane and wax, it goes through all the phases. That also means that all the Venusian themes and matter might experience some changes and shift during this Venus in Cancer transit, right? Relationships, romantic, or all the close one-on-one relationships. It can be money matters. It can be your values, right? They might be shifting. They might be changing. You might find yourself, thinking about money. You might be spending a little bit more, and then you're like, oh my God. And the next day you're spending a little less, so on and so forth. So this might happen. Also, during this transit, you might find yourself craving more emotional security and support, which is associated with the energy of Cancer. You might want some reassurance if you are just starting to date and wondering if you are going to be official with this person or not. If you are in a relationship or you are, with your closest people, friends, family, you or them might crave a little bit more emotional support and security during this time. So this is also what can happen. Again, all energy has both light and shadow attribute. So during this time, you might also feel the shadow side of Cancer, which can be very moody, right? Changing all the time. And therefore, sometimes the expression can feel passive aggressive. You might be guessing like, what is happening? And why am I feeling this way, right? You might also have this mama bear energy wanting to protect or be protected. Cancer do loves to love on people sometimes. So you or the other person might feel like, ooh, why are you extra clingy? Why do you always want to be on me, right? And knowing when to draw boundaries, knowing where to set boundaries can be a topic during this time as well. I do have to say, right after Venus enter Cancer, it immediately bring in that co-presence energy with Jupiter, which is the other benefic, which is lovely. And we are definitely going to look forward when they get closer and closer, which start from today. And as they inch closer and closer together, they are going to form a conjunction. So right now, just mark your date on August 11, mark 12 too, but 11 as well. You are going to feel that energy, that beautiful, juicy Venus-Jupiter conjunction, which is one of the best thing happening this year, which we'll talk more about next week. But however, before we reach there, we do need to overcome the square between Neptune and Saturn first. I know. So August 1st, 2nd, towards this end of the week, we are feeling the square. Before you receive, you need to make space. That's why the square happens. We have the square between Venus and Saturn, Neptune in Aries. So this square can bring in a little bit tough reality check for many of us, right? And Venus in Cancer squaring Saturn and Neptune is inviting us to look at some reality matters, right? You gotta get real if you want to create space to receive or call in whatever you want to manifest. So Saturn is asking you some reality check. You want to manifest this abundance. How are you doing right now? Have you been doing the work, right? If you want to, let's say Venus in Cancer wants to renovate your home, and Saturn is asking, well, have you saved up enough to have this big renovation you want to, or is it necessary, right? Maybe some of the stuff is still very new. Do you really need that renovation, or are you just chasing some trend and stuff like that, or is something really broken that you need to replace it? Then maybe it makes sense. But if it's just for the sake of chasing some trend, maybe Saturn is like, no, right? So there might be some redirection during this weekend when you think about what you want to call in, manifest, create, or birth through Venus in Cancer energy. Saturn might come in to give you a tough reality check. Is it valid or is it just fantasy? That's what Neptune is doing as well. Neptune calls in and say, is this a fantasy or is this a dream that you can truly birth into reality? Is this truly sustainable, right? So Saturn and Neptune is helping you to do some sifting and sorting, to have some tough conversation. If this is about some relationship matter, maybe Saturn and Neptune is like, are you wearing rose-tinted glasses? Or is this relationship truly going to stand the test of the time? If there's something existing in the relationship, maybe Neptune and Saturn is going to take that rose-tinted glasses out to ask you to have a reality check. Stop ignoring the problems or issues that you need to look at, you cannot avoid. Because if you do so, you won't be able to feel that beautiful Jupiter-Venus conjunction that is going to come in next week. So look and see, how is all the Venusian stuff doing? Money matters, your values, right? Where do you stand in collective issues? Or if you call yourself a believer of certain rites, if you practice certain spiritual modalities, are you also doing the work to decolonize? Are you also doing the work to uphold your part of standing for collective liberation and healing? This can be a tough call this weekend, but we all must face it if we want to call in and create that new world that we all want to, right? We can all be the change we want in the world, but are we willing to do the work to call in that change as well? So yes, a little spirit there, just a little invitation for all of us. Lastly, one more thing, I want to circle back to July 31st because I do want to talk about all the Venusian Venus in Cancer stuff first, but there is another beautiful thing happening this week. So July 31st, 4:41 p.m. or August 1st, 7:41 a.m. Hong Kong time, we have a Mercury Cazimi. That is when the Sun and Mercury align from a exact conjunction. This also marks the halfway point of our Mercury retrograde journey. This is a moment of clarity, awakening, aha moment. You might receive some clarity, answer, realization that you have been looking for during your Mercury retrograde journey. You might have a bigger clarity about your Mercury retrograde story. What is it about? The answer, clarity you have been seeking might come in during this time. And this is and Mercury Cazimi, the message always happen in a more quiet sense. Even if it happens in the sign of Leo, it's still that way. So be a little bit more aware of the little message sign that universe is trying to show you. I tell you the time and date because sometimes we can feel this energy come in a little earlier or a little later. So I will give it a day before and after to kind of lock in this Mercury Cazimi window for all of us. So pay attention to see maybe it will come through from a song lyrics in the video or a dialogue from the TV you're watching, or maybe from a conversation you're having or you overheard from the other person. It's just little things, right? Or maybe from your dreams, who knows, right? So pay attention and see what comes up for you. So this is the rest of the week astrology. I hope it will help you move through some or all the energies. Feel free to comment below. Let me know how you find it. And again, if I can be in any assistance, I do offer all kinds of astrology consultations and readings, tarot and akashic records reading. I do distant Reiki energy healing session as well. My email is in the description box. You can email me to schedule a session for yourself or ask any question you want. Follow me over IG. You can also contact me over there. In the meanwhile, take care and I'll see you again. Bye.